Hey, it's Friday, the afternoon now of June 25th. I'm headed to Gibsonton, Florida, just outside the Riverview, where I'll be doing a listing presentation. It's a referral. It's my first referral in a while from a good friend. He's a lender, and so I've spoken to the guy. He's interested in selling his property and is actually even open to seller financing, which is going to be kind of interesting. Uh, but that's just the start of it. Afterwards, I'm headed directly to Tampa. I'm going to be showing the quadplex to about two other investors, one at 2:30 and one at 3. And there's also people coming in there at 1, 12, 1, and I think 1:30. I let everyone know what's put an offer that that needs to be in today. We're going to make a decision today. We're leaning towards one that's a conventional financing offer because my sellers have just told me flat out, like, they're tired. They're tired of working the property, tired of fixing, repairing, and they just want to let it go. So I'll be, Dallas and Phoenix and I will be in that part of Hillsborough County, basically glad handing, shaking hands, but looking at our watch because, like, honestly, like, they want to be done with it immediately. So and everyone that's called me, I got a call, I mentioned in the last video, I got a call, from a South African investor with a Florida partner who's coming to visit the property later today. He's coming at 3 o'clock, so he or she. So it's just kind of interesting that I've been trying to sell this property for a while. We've been under contract twice. And after the second time falling out of contract, I said, look, this is where the price should be. Let's disclose what we found out in the inspection report and see what happens. And doing that, I guess we hit the sweet point with the price. It's much less than what my clients would have wanted, but they understand now that they're never going to get the price that they're hoping for, especially given the conditions that the issue we found with termites. I had a conversation with their CPA, who was under the impression that the property was much more restored and repaired than it was when he saw the inspection report. He was kind of flabbergasted. So he's now more on my side about getting them to accept the offers that we like. I've called several of the agents representing buyers, bringing in seller financing deals to tell them that those deals are not going to be considered going forward. They're looking to walk away with the money up front. So we have right now currently 2 conventional loans, 1 VA loan, and 2 cash offers that we're considering. The cash offers would be pleasant, but they're much lower. They're about $15,000 to $20,000 lower than the conventional loan. And all else being equal, even though they can close faster, my sellers want, they don't mind waiting 30 days for $15,000 more. So that's like, $500 a day of a bonus if they can do it that way. The one thing about the best offer so far is I do want to counter it. We have 2 offers that are at the same price. One is a VA where the agent's asking a certain fee, and one is a conventional where the agent's asking for a higher fee. Between the two, the sellers prefer the conventional loan, the VA process, which is very intrusive for them the last time. But they also want to see if they can save on the commission. So we're going to counter that one. It seems, as of right now, it's 11:15 in the morning. We said we're going to give answers by 6 o'clock. And I know there's 2 other offers coming from these visits. So we'll see. But I'm happy to report that it's looking very optimistic that we'll be under contract. So, and then once we do, we're going to just do a lot of work to the property. We're going to tent it for the termites. We're going to, what else? That's pretty much it. With the conventional, with the VA, we'd have to repaint the exterior. The buyer bringing in the conventional loan is only asked for us to tent it. They can do all the paper, the painting, etc. themselves. So yeah. And as regards to this listing presentation, I did a fair amount of research, but our goal is to basically keep it off the market for about 3 to 4 weeks as I reach out to a bunch of investors about it, because they bought the property, the husband and wife bought the property about 2.5 years ago, so there's not much equity for them. They didn't buy it at the height of the market. The pandemic had already pretty much gone its course, but they don't think they can get much more than they paid for it, trying to sell it. But when you factor in closing costs and etc., they're going to be under. So they're actually really interested in seeing what seller financing can offer them, because they just want to essentially cash flow the property for a few years, through either being a landlord, which they would prefer not to do, or from an investor buying it, giving them a good down payment, and then making the monthly payments afterwards. They'd be happy with that. And now it's about finding out what would make them, what are the bounds of their happiness. Would they want a deal that lasts 5 years or a deal that lasts 3? Because they definitely want to walk away with money. They don't want to sell it at a loss. But they're going to tell me, for example, what their mortgage payments are, and if they can get payments above that, with a down payment that is strong, they'd be very happy. So this might be my next listing, with one I didn't call for, one that just came to me, which is really, really amazing. The power of referrals, which would be really, really cool. So yeah, next video I'll talk about what happened. But yeah, it's gonna be a little bit crazy as I drive through Tampa to do a listing presentation in one of the suburbs, and then just basically stay by the other property and just greet people as they show up, because there'll be agents with their own super keys. They'll be able to open the doors themselves, but the other investors who don't have it, they'll be meeting them, coordinating with them, and showing them the property. And I already got the sellers to turn on the AC, so the property is very comfortable, and stock the fridge with water and soda, so that at least they have a pleasant time when they're there. All right, Christian DeBouche, licensed realtor with Real Broker. Wish me luck. Bye.